So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mels Gaming here with the first game that I decided to go for 100% achievements for here in 2025, and that game is Spirit of the North. Now Spirit of the North is an absolutely stunning game. It's a story-driven game with a lot of sort of puzzle solving and some platforming elements, and it is just so visually gorgeous. I mean, this is one of my favourite games I've ever played. I managed to complete it in just under 5 hours, literally like 4 hours and 59 minutes I was recording for. So just under the 5-hour mark, managed to get all 24 achievements for the 100%, and honestly, it was amazing. Now, I did follow a guide to get all of the collectible achievements and stuff, and that's something I'll be doing with pretty much every game I go for 100% for, just to make sure I don't miss anything. But just getting to follow along the story of this game was amazing. And as you can see, we are going to be following this red fox. This story is all about this character here, this beautiful red fox, and then meeting a spirit red fox that we will meet a little bit further into the game. But it is just an amazing game, and the very first achievement we get is a really simple one, just staying still for 3 minutes. And that gets us the foxing around achievement, and our character actually curls up there, which I found absolutely adorable. Now, a really big part of this game, and this is again sort of one of the kind of like collectible achievements I would call it, is actually finding all of the shaman staffs, which is what this is right here, and then taking them to the shaman bodies and awakening their spirits. Now, one of the achievements was to actually pick up and carry one of the shaman staffs for 3 minutes. So the very first one that we come across here, I ended up picking up and just holding it for 3 minutes. And after, 3 minutes was up, we get the fetch achievement, which is carry a shaman staff for 3 minutes. So again, 2 really easy achievements just to get us started. And I just love all of the animations that the fox has. It's so cool. But like I said, we actually have to give these staffs to the shamans to awaken their spirits. Now, there is a few achievements actually tied to giving different amounts of shamans their staffs back. And so, like I said, followed a guide to make sure I didn't miss any of those. But there are certain ones like this that are actually part of the story. But there are 28 different shaman that you need to awaken to get all of the achievements for that. And you'll also get different skins as we go through the game, which is really cool. But finally, after we progress a little bit further, we come across the spirit itself, the Spirit of the North, which is actually listed in the description on Steam as a female red fox. And this is just so gorgeous. I absolutely love this with the animations and everything. It is so beautiful. And if you, take one look at the channel, you'll know that I love blue colours. And so the spirit and everything being blue, I just loved it. Like, this was so cool. But just by awakening the spirit there, we get a Guardian Forgotten, awaken the Spirit of the North. So that really kind of officially starts our story, which is really cool. Now, after giving a few more shaman back their staffs, we have one more here that I come across, and again, give him back his staff, and you can see the spirit fox is there actually watching, which was really cool. But this is going to actually unlock a new skin. Now, you'll see this as we go through the game, that as I unlock the different skins, I'm going to change into each of the skins we unlock, kind of to show the progress as we go through the game. So now our fox is a completely different colour. It's like a white and black fox, which looks awesome. But now we start to learn a little bit more about the story, and we can actually see that our fox is getting sick here as it approaches this red glowing stuff. And actually, as we try to approach this standing stone, our fox actually passes out. Which I wondered, what was going to happen here. Is that actually our character dead? But you will now see that the spirit is going to come and actually have an interaction here in this cutscene. And I had to include this because it's important to the story and what actually happens. But just again, visually, how stunning is this? It's so incredible to look at. Absolutely gorgeous. And our character is now at the bottom of this cliff, and once again the spirit comes up to us and actually tries to wake us up. So our character isn't dead, just, you know, at this point now injured. Now, for the next chapter of this story, because it is in chapters, so this is now starting chapter 2, we have to follow the spirit through what appears to be some sort of underground sort of burial place. There's a lot of skeletons and stuff, and we have another shaman to awaken here. Now this one is actually going to give us the first achievement for awakening a certain amount of shaman spirits. And you can see our fox is very injured at this point, like struggling to breathe, limping, carrying one leg in the air. He's not in a good condition. And I'm saying he because it lists the female, the spirit as being a female, so I'm assuming we play as a male fox. But that gives us the awaken achievement, which is to awaken 5 shaman spirits. So that's the first of the shaman achievements. Now, we continue to follow the spirit through this underground, like I said, burial site that it appears to be. And then, once again, our character does pass out. Now, once again, the female spirit fox does come to our aid here with this insanely beautiful cutscene. She tries to wake us up, and this time it doesn't work. So I'm assuming at this point our character is actually dead, which is kind of interesting. But with the bark there, she manages to light up all of these standing stones, and our character is then lifted into the air, and you're going to see something really, really cool happen. I absolutely love this. It's so beautiful. It seems like her spirit ends up partially or even fully going into our character, which is really cool. Now, I say partially or fully because we still do have the little, like, sprite spirit following us around. So I'm not sure at what level that's meant to be, you know, whether we have her full spirit or just part of it to keep us alive. I think it's kind of open to interpretation, but that does give us the infused with light achievement, become infused with energy. So now we have the light energy actually inside our character, which it just looks amazing with those beautiful markings. It's absolutely stunning. Now, as we progress from inside the caves, we actually go out into a more open world, and we do have another shaman here that I am actually awakening. Now, this one actually does give us a different unlockable skin again for how many we have awoken at this point, and you can see once again in the bottom right how many at this point we have awoken. You know, we're getting quite a few of these different shaman awoken at this point. Now, I do equip that skin. As I said, I will equip the different skins throughout. And then we do get the Spirit Bark achievement after doing a little bit of puzzle solving to actually infuse this particular standing stone with light. This appears to be like effectively an ability stone. Once you've infused it with light, you go to it, you get the new ability. And after a couple of attempts, I finally work out how to use the Spirit Bark, and it actually will use up the energy that you have collected to destroy these things, which are plague tethers. Now this is going to give us another achievement. So all of this red stuff is plague. They're called plague tethers. And when we use the Spirit Bark here, it's going to clear all of this and give us another achievement called Eradicate, which is to destroy 3 plague tethers. And that is the first of a few of the different plague tether achievements. So again, the first of a few that are related to doing the same thing. But once again, we infuse another standing stone with light as we progress a little bit further on, and this is going to give us another new ability. This one is really, really cool. This gives us Spirit Form, unlocks the Spirit Form ability. Now again, this makes me think something to do with the story, which I'll talk about in a second. But as you can see, we can now switch to being the spirit fox. We can go from being the actual physical red fox to the spirit form. Again, our character curls up there, which kind of makes me wonder if the spirit is actually what's alive and not our character at this point. By collecting some more spirit energy, we get blooms of light, which is to collect 25 of the blooms of light, which are the flowers which you walk over to and bark, and that's what gives you this energy, which when you are infused with the light energy, you will see it in this form where you have the markings and the glowing tail tip. And it's really interesting. Whenever you infuse something with light like this, you'll notice the light actually comes from the tip of your tail, which I think is a really neat detail. But this is going to relate to an achievement later on, because we actually have to light a certain amount of those different murals in order to get another achievement, and that was one of the murals that I had to light. Now, giving this shaman here back his staff in this area, which you can see is looking very plague-ridden with all of the red in the sky and the red, almost like blood drops coming from the sky, we actually get the Old Companion achievement, which is to awaken 12 shaman spirits. So again, progressing with the number of shaman we have found and awakening them. Then, progressing through this area a bit more, we find even more plague tethers and get the Uprooting Darkness achievement, which is to destroy 8 plague tethers. So we took out a few more just using that one spirit bath there. Now, we gave a few more shaman back their staffs, and at this point I was just trying to get an achievement called Weightless, which is to do with using your spirit form. Now, as part of that, you had to walk on water in spirit form, you had to stand on one of these, weight platforms as the spirit form, and then you had to walk over an unstable platform as the spirit form. And I figured this would be a good time to just make sure I had stood on one of these weight platforms as the spirit form, and then immediately I change into spirit form again, and walk over this, and it counts as the unstable platform, and we get the Weightless achievement for walking on all 3 of those different surfaces. So that was a really handy place to actually do that. Now, progressing a little bit further on again, and we have another shaman to awaken. Again, I've awoken more in between this, but this is another sort of significant one, and this one is going to give us a different skin again. This is actually one of my favourite skins that we unlock during this, and it's basically a melanistic red fox, and I think it looks really, really cool. This with the actual light energy. Once you're infused with light energy, just look at how that stands out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And infusing that standing stone with light gives us, written in stone, infuse 30 standing stones. So at this point in the game, we have infused 30 of those different standing stones with this light energy that you can see me recollecting here. And basically that's all we had to do for that achievement. Quite a simple one. But like I said, this particular skin looks amazing with the light. But then we get the Garden of Light achievement here for collecting 50 different spirit blooms, as I actually go around this circle here and infuse all of these standing stones with light that were missing it, which then, as this beautiful cutscene will show, actually infuses the ability stone in the middle with light all the way to the top, and that's going to give us our last spirit ability. And as we actually go over here and get our last ability, it is the Spirit Dash, and that gives us the Spirit Dash achievement, which is to unlock the Spirit Dash ability. And basically this is just a little fast movement that we can do. So now if we need to get across a gap or through a timed door or anything like that, we can just dash right through it. Just a really cool ability, and again, I just love how this skin looks with the light. Now, I mentioned these carvings, or murals as they're called, needing to have a certain amount of different ones infused with light, and eventually we get the rare achievement Ancient History to find and light all 8 types of carved mural. So this was the last one that I actually needed to do for that achievement. And again, it's just so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, as I actually barked there to get the flowers to light up and give us the energy, we got the Best Friends achievement, which is to cause the wisp to chirp 100 times. So that was a cute little achievement, and one that it took a little while to get, but basically every time the fox barks, it seems that the wisp does chirp back, so after 100 barks, got that achievement. Now this particular achievement that you can see me doing here was a rare achievement, and it took me ages. Fox or flying squirrel. Stay airborne for more than 8 seconds. And you had to use either those jump gates or the geysers that you can use in certain areas to complete certain puzzles. Now the guide I was following recommended using those jump gates right there, and it was just a pain. Absolute pain. I was in that area for like half an hour just to get that achievement. I could have completed this game significantly quicker if it was not for trying to get that specific achievement. I loved this game, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, but my one complaint would be that sometimes the controls are a bit finicky when it comes to jumping in certain directions and stuff, and that made that achievement particularly hard because you had to try and go forwards and backwards in a particular direction. Now, by actually matching those glyphs there, we get the Matchmaker achievement, which is to match 12 sets of revolving glyphs. So by using the spirit form and going over and then matching that last glyph to the other two in the area, we got that achievement. Again, just a nice easy one that you will get if you progress through the entire game. But, it's on the achievements list, so I was happy to get it. Then we awaken another shaman here, and you're going to see just how many we have awoken at this point by giving them back their staffs, and this is going to give us another skin. This is actually one of my favourite skins again that we get to unlock. I love the white and red, and it looks amazing when it's infused with light. Now moving on to the next achievement, and as we get to these branches we switch to spirit form and then use the spirit bark ability to clear this plague tether, and we get the Plague Doctor achievement for clearing 18 total plague tethers. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see this skin a whole lot in this video because there was kind of a shorter part of the story here before we unlock the next skin. But awakening this particular shaman in this area is going to give us the last shaman related achievement. And I was really excited to get this one because I knew this was one of the rarer achievements. This is the None Forgotten achievement, awaken all 28 shaman spirits. And for doing that, we get the last skin that you can actually unlock through the game. And in my opinion, it looks like almost a corrupted version of the fox at this point, because you have black fur, and when you actually become infused with light, the light is like a red glowing colour instead of the blue glowing colour that we've had with all of the other skins. So it feels like it's almost the corrupted dark version of the fox at this point. This was one of the most cool parts of the game for me, walking into what I would call the heart of darkness. Like, this is obviously the centre of where this plague is. It makes you walk incredibly slowly. We have tracked that red light across the sky through the entire game, all the way into the depths of this place. And eventually, the actual fox collapses and you become the spirit, and I wasn't sure whether I was supposed to just walk off here, so kind of took a little bit of a leap of faith and guessed, well, I've had to follow this red spirit throughout this cave, I guess I should continue to follow it, and then you just walk out into this black abyss, and then you get this really cool little cutscene of the fox actually playing with this red spirit. And from what I have seen, the reason that the actual spirit fox that I'm playing as there is red is because I am using that sort of corrupted looking skin. Everyone else that I watched do walkthroughs and stuff to get the achievements, just to make sure I was picking them all up, their spirit was blue. Which again makes me feel like this particular skin that you unlock at the very end is like a corrupted form. Now, if you walk around in the spirit world, you can find all 28 of the shaman spirits, and if you do that, you get the Kindred Spirits achievement, which is to find all of the spirits in this world, which is really cool. because again it links back to what you've done throughout the whole story by awakening those different shaman spirits, and then they're here in this world for you to go and meet. So again, another cool rare achievement there. And then once you infuse that standing stone with light, the shaman here will actually perform a ritual. So not only did we get the achievement for finding all of the shaman, we get a really, really cool like cutscene here where it appears like they've brought back the other fox to life. And you can see it's a blue spirit. So it's like, again, the sort of implications that maybe one of the foxes wasn't fully alive at this point. I just find it really interesting. There's so much with this story that's cool. And then you return back to the body of the fox that you left when you entered the spirit world, and you get the Spirited Away achievement to make it out of the spirit world. So again, I feel like our main character fox at that point wasn't alive. Like, there's, like I said, some implications that I just find really cool. And I love stuff like this, where it kind of leaves some of it open to interpretation, because there is no dialogue for this story, like I said. You are just having to basically go with what the story is showing you. And I really like that. And then finally, the last part of the game, we follow the blue spirit fox all the way to the top of this mountain. You can see there is 2 stone foxes there with plague just emanating from them. You stand on one of the other pressure plates on the other side of those statues, and then we're going to get a really cool cutscene where you and the spirit fox look at each other, and the red, horrible plague starts to retreat all the way back to the statue, which was separated by that plague, and then shows them being pushed together and then changing back to the blue colour. So I feel like there is a love story going on here as well. Like, something about being separated from your spirit or your love. There's so many ways I feel like that could be interpreted, and it's awesome. And then finally we get the last achievement, the Northern Lights. Fill the night sky with the Northern Lights. And you and the spirit fox will run around through the night sky as the credits roll and actually leave trails of the Northern Lights, which is just such a cool way for this game to end. I've got like goosebumps again. Like I said, I feel like there is some metaphors within this game. And I love that with the game they didn't give you a full description. All that we know is that the spirit fox is a female red fox, which I feel like was a hint maybe towards this either being like a pair of foxes that were being reunited, or, you know, something about the soul being separated from the body in some aspects. And just, I find it great. I find stuff like this great because it means that as you play it, you can sort of fill the game with your own thoughts. And for me, in particular, there was a lot of thoughts of being separated from the one you love, and then getting towards the end and actually being with the other spirit here in the sky and filling it with the Northern Lights, like being reunited and all the colour and everything being brought back was what I was thinking. And then, like I said, the idea of maybe your soul being separated from your body, there was just a lot of meaning. And it did make me quite emotional, even though, like I said, no dialogue, nothing like that, just music and just the story to follow through. And I think it was an incredible job by the developers for this game. I am so incredibly hyped for the second version of this game. The Spirit of the North 2 is supposed to be coming out this year. So I'll definitely be playing that and going for 100% achievements. I'm really, really excited, and this is one of my favourite games I have ever played. Really, really glad to have gotten all 100% achievements for it. What an amazing masterpiece of a game. Can't recommend it enough. I got it like really discounted on Steam. It's not an expensive game. It's well worth going and playing. Like, even if you don't, you know, go for all the achievements and you just play it for the story, just do it. You know, it's not a super long game, but it is genuinely one of my favourite games I've ever played. I absolutely loved it. I really, really genuinely did. What a fantastic story. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. There are going to be more videos about doing 100% achievements for different games. Not all the games are going to be super hard. Some of them are going to be shorter, more story aspect ones like this. Some of them might be longer and, you know, more hard achievements for certain games. I don't know. We'll see what games I end up 100%ing this year. But this is an absolute banger, in my opinion, to start off with for 100% achievements for this year. Because, yeah, like I said, one of my favourite games I've ever played. What an experience. And I'm just so pleased I finally got to play this masterpiece of a game. But like I said, thank you so much for watching and for all your amazing support. As always, you are all absolutely incredible. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.